Okay,
We're
thank you.
professionals.
Okay, this is the Exeter Lions Club, Exeter Area Lions Club, which handles the same towns as the SAU 16. And with us tonight, we have Sandy. Go ahead, Sandy.
Sandra Collegue-Spalaris.
Now you know why I needed help. My name is Mike Baillargeon. I am the membership chair for the Exeter Area Lions Club.
I'm Karen Baillargeon, the secretary of the Exeter Lions Club.
I am Melanie Saunders, and I am the I am a past president, and I'm also a zone chair for our district.
And our guest tonight is... We have one guest tonight. We were hoping for more. We advertised it quite well over social media, but whatever we have, we're very happy with. And tonight I'd like to kind of give a rundown of what Lions International is and what our district is, and I'll go right into the club and what the Exeter Lions Club does. But Lions Clubs International was founded in 1917 from an insurance salesman from Chicago. 10 years later, the Exeter Lions Club was founded in 1927. So last year, we celebrated our 95th anniversary. So we have a long history. We have roughly 60 members right now, which covers 6 different towns, which we're pretty fortunate to be able to help. There's 1.46 million lions in the world and over 202 countries and geographical areas. So it's made up of over 42,000 clubs worldwide, which means they're all small groups like Exeter, Newmarket, Dover, all helping their local communities. So we're pretty proud of that, of some of the accomplishments that we do. The benefits of being with Lions International, it's a worldwide organization that's well known. Sometimes we think it's the best kept secret, but we're getting the word out there and we do a lot for our communities. There's 2 districts in New Hampshire. There's 38 clubs in 44H, which we are. 44N is the other side of the Merrimack River, and there's roughly 40 clubs. So there's over close to 25 to 3,000 Lions in New Hampshire, all doing the same things like Exeter's doing, small things for their community. We are fortunate enough to have a summer camp that our district has. It's called Lions Camp Pride, and we take care of handicapped type children, and the biggest program is American Diabetes Camp Carefree, which teaches young kids from 7 to mid-teens how to handle diabetes and how to become how to work as kids. So I'm not going to go a lot more on the international part of it. The district, like I said, with 38 clubs, we get together a few times a year and discuss ideas of what we can do for New Hampshire. If a club needs help on a fundraiser, other clubs pitch in and help. But I have a list and I've categorized it for what the Exeter Area Lions Club does. And the first group I've listed is fundraising. Why don't you give this to, here's my list, and I'll be asking for assistance from my crew here. For fundraising, what we do right now in some of the past things, one of the big things we do, we support food drives for St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry. That is one of the biggest needs in this area right now. And we are very fortunate. Every summer we do a food drive. Last year we collected 1,300 pounds of product and turned over $1,500, and we'll do that again this summer. And they are very, very thankful for our help. Over the years, we've done what's called meat raffles at Shooter's Pub. It's like bingo with playing cards, and it's a fun night. And that money raised there goes right into the charitable account. Speaking of charitable versus administration, all the monies that we raise from the public go back to the public. We pay our own dues to fund the club. And a lot of it goes, and I'll explain that later on, goes to Lions International and the district to run their organization. We were fortunate enough a couple of years ago to get into gaming out of the Dover Poker Room. And this year we're going to be going into one in Nashua. We raised several $1,000s, which goes right to the charitable account. So thank you, State of New Hampshire, for allowing charities to go in with these gaming companies. Thanksgiving pie sale, Karen, would you explain that a little bit, because you headed up?
A few years ago, we started as a small fundraiser, making pies for Thanksgiving. And we make the pies, we don't bake them except for the pumpkin pie. And we sell apple, blueberry, pumpkin, and cherry pies. And several of us Lions do the making of the pies. And then we sell it to the public. And we have a spot, we use a spot at the Globe Plaza where right beside Rite Aid. Rite Aid? Yeah, and they pick up the pies there so that we're not going to different people's houses and they don't have to travel far distances. And they say they love the pies, so we're very happy about that.
All the proceeds for that are donated by the people that make the pies, so all that money goes into the charitable account. Annual auction, Melanie, would you just explain that a bit, because you co-chair it and you've chaired it for several years?
Sure. So our auction, it pretty much takes like all hands on deck. We end up having solicit from all of the local area businesses. They're all super generous. So in anywhere from giving a gift certificate to a package to an experience, and everyone, it's the one thing that I look forward to, sometimes look forward to it being over, but look forward to seeing just all the different, like I said, all the different companies and all the different businesses that help us, but then also knowing that we usually raise about $8,000 to $9,000 a year with that, and then all of that goes back into what we do. But it's really a nice way for the businesses to kind of help us out, to hopefully get brand recognition for them as well. But we have anywhere from raffles that night to a silent auction, a live auction, and it's really a good way for us to be able to, again, get the word out about what we do as Lions, and then also be able to raise good money for all the things that Mike's telling you about.
Thank you. Another thing we started last year was knowing that fuel prices are so high for people's heating fuel, mostly natural gas, LP gas, and oil. We started a 3-mile walk. We called it the Walk for Warmth. Last year was our first year with it, and we have a route around town. It starts at the YMCA, and for the first year, I thought we did pretty well. We made $2,000, which we had that, and we took a lot of the gaming money, and we took care of roughly 18 families this year that really in need. We went to the schools, nurses, to find out who was in need. And Sandy, you went to Newfield's health officer. And could you just explain how that worked with the school? Because I thought the school involvement was really nice. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's the Trek bench. I'm jumping ahead of myself. But Sandy did work with the health officer to get names of people. And I'll tell you, I ended up talking to almost all of them, and Sandy did some. These people were really thankful for the help. What we did is we did $500 grants. And our plan, we took money from the gaming and added a pot. So we had about $10,000 to work with. So we're going to continue that this year and hopefully expand on it. So that's that little project. Speaking of it, I'm going to go right to the Trex program. We do have a program called the Trex Benches. That's not in fundraising, but it's another project that we have. It's an environmental project that we have. It's Trex Bench, which makes benches and decking and things. The plastics that come from like the shopping centers and everything, they cannot recycle that in the regular normal recycling from like Waste Management. So Trex came up with a program for any kind of charities. If we collect 500 pounds of plastic, they give us a bench. And we've been putting them into schools so far. And Sandy, now you're on. So you did deal with the Newfield School and get the kids involved.
So it was a really great program. I talked to the school, and they were very excited about having it because they could use a place to sit in their playground. The kids were so excited at the school to contribute. So every week I'd go back, collect more of the plastic bags. And there's a lot of different kinds of plastic that we collect. It's not like plastic jugs or containers. It's all flexible plastic. But at the end, when we delivered the bench, and they brought some of the students out to see it, they were just amazed because they saw what their contributions were doing, and they were very, very happy to be able to then send it into their set it out in the playground. So it was a very exciting time, and the kids got to participate, which was very important because it helps them understand the serving of the community.
Right, and we try to get kids involved whenever we can, and we have like Riverwoods. Everything was going into trash. They partnered with us. I collect anywhere from 60 to 80 pounds of plastic for them every 3 to 4 weeks, and they're thrilled to be partnering with us with an environmental program, and we're thrilled to have them. Other fundraising projects, we do have a pancake breakfast in December. Last year it was at the Senior Citizen Building. I think this coming it'll be back at the Christ Church. And that's a nice time for kids. We always have a Santa and a Santa's helpers and give out little gifts for the kids. And it's just a fun day. It's every little bit for charity is one thing, but that's another project we have just to help the kids, get the kids involved. This year we got 2 new fundraisers coming up. One is a chili cook-off, which is, the date is April 15th. And we're asking people to come with different types of chili and then have people come and judge it. And it should be a fun night. It's going to be chili and cool it off with ice cream. So that's brand new. We should do okay with that. And Walk for Wonk we talked about. And this year also, just voted at the last meeting, we're going to raffle off a gas grill. And Dan, the owner, Jackson from RJ, is giving us a good break on a gas grill. So that should be a good fundraiser that we're going to pull the winning ticket Saturday, May 20th, the week before Memorial Day. So I'm looking forward to getting that information out there at the next board meeting. Okay, projects that we do. One of the big projects we do, and I'm going to ask Melanie again to talk on this one because she's chaired it in the past. We give 60 food baskets for Christmas time to needy all over our area, and we get the names from. You chaired that, haven't you?
I haven't, but I've helped.
You've helped enough.
So for the Christmas baskets, what we have been doing is we've been partnering with one of the local grocery stores. We all of the Lions get on board. Families come, so you don't even have to be a member. And we set up like a little assembly line, and we fill 60 baskets. So anywhere from chickens and turkeys and bread, water, milk, all sorts of goodies that you can have an entire Christmas meal. Package those up, and then we all split up, and we usually take at least, I think it's 6 routes a piece, and drive in our entire service area and deliver these baskets. And it's such a good feeling. It's such a great way to help and be able to actually connect with families, but also, I think just the camaraderie of our own families getting to be able to help and see what we're doing as Lions, I think that's also special.
Thank you. And we, like Melanie said, we try to get families there with kids to come and help to see how it's good to give back. And Karen, I'd like to have you speak on the Adopt a Senior program.
The Adopt a Senior program is one of my favorite projects. We started through the Rockingham Nutrition Meals on Wheels, and we started out small, and now we serve 10 seniors, and they give us their first names and a number so that for wherever the driver delivers the food to. And we put together, I call them bags because we use they allow the club to. Some other groups, they may have them do smaller bags, but our club, we put together the biggest like contractor bags that you can get, and we put together essentials, paper towels, toilet paper, toothpaste, that thing. And we also try to fill their wish list. And 90% of them, it's either food gift cards and warm blankets, warm sweatshirts, and we try to fill that need for each of these seniors. So a lot of the seniors, they don't get out, and some of them don't have families that they even have people come in and visit. So it's just to give them a bit of cheer, and the group has a wonderful time putting it together. And some of the members have decided that they just as soon donate what they've bought, and the club will pick up like the gift cards and the essentials. So it's one of our great projects.
Thank you. Just going down the list of things we do, because I wrote the highlighted ones. This is not everything we do, but it's highlighted pretty well. One of the things that Lions do in general is eyesight and hearing. And we collect eyeglasses to recycle. In fact, I just picked up about 150 from the Rockingham County Nursing Home. And those glasses get shipped. Hampton Lions Club has a project of categorizing and shipping them clean. And they go to Roanoke, Virginia. They get clean, categorized, and they go to third world countries. They're not allowed to come over here. And I think the Lions of New Hampshire in the last 10 years have collected over 300,000 glasses. And some are good, some aren't, but it's a big need because we're a worldwide organization and we don't care where we help people from, just as long as we give it the effort. We have eye and hearing aid assistants in our own area. We take care of several eyeglasses every year for senior citizens, mostly that just cannot afford them. Mayo Eye Care up on Hampton Road, or I think it's Hampton Road or High Street. She's very good to us and gives us a good break. And hearing aid assistants, we have a foundation. Lions of New Hampshire have a foundation. It's called the New Hampshire Sight and Hearing Foundation. It's an endowment fund that they're able to do fundraising, and they take a certain amount of money from their endowment every year. And if we had to buy a cataract operation or our hearing aids, our budget would just be blown away because we handle several hearing aid cases a year. We write a grant to the Sight and Hearing Foundation. That's our own Lions Foundation. And the deal is we put $150 in for the club. The person, if they can afford it, puts in $50 just to have some skin in the game, basically. And the foundation will pay the rest. And they have doctors that really drive the price down, so it goes a long ways. That's a very, very helpful program for the Exeter Lions Club. We use it. Right now we have 2 active cases we're going to be approving. So, and it doesn't have to necessarily come out of our checkbook all the time. Vision screening for preschools and elementary schools. Melanie, have you done those before?
I haven't.
I haven't actually gone myself. I'm involved with other projects, but Sandy, you've gone. So basically, we go in as a team of 3 or 4 people, roughly, and screen elementary school kids. And it starts from we do age from like 6 months to elementary, so they do a lot of daycares. And on any given year, we'll screen approximately, the Exeter area alone, 3,000 children. And out of the 3,000 children, it's a screening that this machine, as soon as it looks like a camera, but it's not, it's a computer. As soon as it's ready, it snaps an image of the eyes, not the face, just an image. And there's about 7 or 8 different anomalies that it'll pick up. So it's the child, or it can be adult too, it's either okay or it needs to be referred to a doctor. We're not trying to be doctors, but it gives the optometrist an area to look at. And I think right now in the state of New Hampshire, there's about 5 or 6% referrals. And I know of 2 cases. One was right in Fremont a couple of years ago. They found a tumor behind a child's eye. And I think the other one's up in Pennacook or someplace. Same idea, and was able to save the child's eye. So, I mean, if you get one of those, it's worth the program. The nurses like the program. We get, I know I live in Brentwood. They did one time 342 students in about 4 hours. It's really quick once they get it together. So that's a proud program that we have. We do scholarships for high school students, Seco School of Technology, and adult education. So that's a good project. When the pandemic hit, we had to cut it down some. As soon as it was over, we put it back up. So we're pretty happy to be taking care of our students in the area. And we don't pick the criteria. It's basically by need, and we let the schools choose. We support the YMCA in a food program. They have after school programs for kids. They have anywhere from 40 to 60 kids in the afternoon. So we actually fund the snack program. And I've been over there. If you go into the YMCA, it's right on the right, and it's healthy snacks. And I was talking to the gentleman that works there. He'd filled it 3 times at one day already. So it's a really worthwhile program. Again, we try to help kids wherever we can. I mentioned the fuel assistance program already. We're going to continue that. And we started a new program this year, district and statewide. We partner with what's called Future in Sight, which is it's a new name for New Hampshire Association for the Blind. And we got a bit of education because one of the things we're the Knights of the Blind for Helen Keller. That's our main goal. And there's over 24 or 27,000 legally blind people in the state of New Hampshire. Well, I got the list. There's 169 in Exeter, 47 in Brentwood, and the towns go on and on. So a few of us have signed up. I think there's 4 or 5 signed up from Exeter now. So Future Insight sends us an email once a week with all the areas of who needs a ride. And it's mostly essential rides to like a doctor's appointment, dentist. I've done a few already. Karen's done one. This just started. And one gal, she just needs to get out and grocery shop. So Karen's doing that next Monday. And Future Insight is thrilled. And we're rolling this out not only through our club, through the whole state. So that's another program that I think is going to take off. For environment, we've already talked about the Trex Bench program. And for 500 pounds of plastic, they give us a bench. And the other project we do for environment is adopt a highway cleanup. Twice a year, spring and fall, Brentwood Road, 111A, from Exeter, from what's called Concord Pond to Pickpocket Road is 2.2 miles. We pick up the trash every year. It's very interesting what we find out there. Bud Light's very popular, by the way. Again, it's something that it gets it off the street, and the state's very happy to have us. In fact, we're one of the more consistent clubs that do that. Back to Lions International for a second. There's 5 goals of Lions International they ask the clubs to do. One's vision, what we talked about, diabetes awareness, because it's a major cause of blindness, hunger, which we talked about with the food drives, and we also help, over the years we've helped end 68 Hours of Hunger, which is a program to help kids have food during the weekend and summers. Environment, which we have a couple, and childhood cancer. Any club that has a child with cancer, once we find out about it, we don't have to necessarily help in all finances, but it might be just giving somebody a ride, a gas card to get to the hospital, bringing them food. Exeter, we've been fortunate enough that we haven't heard of any yet, but we're ready if it happens. So that's basically a lot of the things we do. On the bottom of this sheet that I have, it says where we meet. We meet 2 meetings a month. One's a board meeting, the first Tuesday of the month at the YMCA. The third Tuesday is a dinner meeting at Seco School of Technology and Julia's Kitchen. And we invite, at any point, anybody wants to come. We quite often have a speaker that's interesting. We try to have that as a social night, the dinner meeting. The board meeting does business. We just report to the board what we're doing. Lions Year goes from July 1st to June 30th. So we meet, except we take off dinner meetings in June and July. In July, we usually have a big cookout to kick it off for the year. So it's a fun group. August, what did I say? July? Yeah, August. Yeah, July, it's time to go to camp. So it's time to play. I do want to go over what it costs to be a Lion, because it's not really expensive compared to some things out there. Our dues, annual dues, it goes, like I said, from July 1st to June 30th, is $55 a year. There's a one-time charge from Lions International that's $35 to set people up in the system. So that's the total amount. Next year, we're probably going to go up a little bit because Lions International is going up. And where does our $55 go? Nothing stays in our checkbook. $43 of it goes to Lions International to help run the worldwide organization, which we get a lot of benefits out of, because, like, even to use this building tonight, we needed an insurance form. Karen went online. Within 3 to 4 minutes, we had a $2 million liability policy in our hand. So every event that we go to, that's a big, you buy those, it's really expensive. We wouldn't be able to do what we do. The district takes 12 of it to run the district. We have a district governor, and he has a team that helps support the clubs throughout our 38 clubs. So that ends the 55. How we make our money from our own administration account is any money that Lions spend, we can put that in the account. So we have a 50-50 raffle at every meal, and the other half goes in the administration account. That type of thing. If we have Some members just plain donate a little bit, whatever it takes. But we don't have a lot of expenses anymore because everything is email. We used to have a lot of postage type bills. We just don't have that anymore. So we can run pretty lean. All the money that we get from, I think I said this before, from the public, from fundraisers like the auction, it goes into a separate account to give back to the communities. So, any questions so far? So if somebody wanted to join tonight, a year, the $55 goes way down. It'd be like for April, May, and June. So the price would be, with the $35, would be $39.60. So it's not expensive to be a Lion. Sometime over the summer, Karen's the secretary, or whoever's going to be, will bill, and it comes into the next few months. We don't push, but because we're looking for volunteers. Any questions that anybody may have? Anything that I might have missed?
Mike, can I?
Please.
So the local structure is that we also have a board so that we vote on and make sure that everyone has a voice to be able to say, these are the things that have come to our attention in Brentwood, or this is the type of thing that we have heard from the nurses that are in need in Exeter. And so when we have a board of directors that's voted in every year. We have a president, we have a treasurer, a secretary, so that all of those, so that everything is up to par, and that we are making sure that as a club, we can look to see what we have available to us. Do we need to do another fundraiser? Do we need to do something else in order to help? And I like what Mike had already said about the heating assistance. So this year, when we realized that the heating bills are going through the roof, it was like, what can we do? Mike put an emergency committee together to say, let's have a fundraising event, let's have this walkathon. So some things are very organic. There are, like Mike said, the 5 different service areas that we have. So while we have been challenged years and years ago by Helen Keller to become the Knights of the Blind, we are trying to help and do those vision things that are most immediate in our service areas. So if we're helping screen children to catch something ahead of time, or if it's that, we heard that there's a kid who needs like a certain piece of equipment in order to be able to see, and then we'll put emergency fundraisers together. So it's a nice mix of, let's have a fun fundraiser, and then let's also be able to help the community.
That's very good. That leads me to one other thing I'd like to bring up. When a club has something too big for them to handle, we all, other clubs volunteer to come help. And one example is there was a young boy, 6 years old, from Fremont a few years ago, about 3 years ago, Karen. They got to school in the first grade and he couldn't read. They didn't even realize how bad it was. So they reached out to the Lions, and Karen and I was on the team. Kingston Lions headed it up. Karen and I went to the elementary school and said, we want a pancake breakfast here. We want you guys to spread it out to the community. And we had a pancake breakfast, and 14 Lions Club came to help put that breakfast on. And that morning, and it was no set fee, it was donation buckets. Between some Lions Club donated money, but with it mostly public, we raised $11,000, and the machine cost about $5,000, but then there was money set aside because as his age got older, it had to be adjusted. So that made 14 Lions Club really feel like part of a project. Another project that we get involved with. Karen, tell them about the where, because I get too emotional. Here.
There's a young boy in Ware, New Hampshire. He was on his 3rd bout of brain tumors. And the mom had to stop working to be able to take care of him. And dad was working 2 jobs, and they just weren't making ends meet. They were starting a new pilot program down in Georgia, and he had to go down once a month for his treatments. And the airfares, there weren't enough programs so that they were having to pay the airfares as well. So we made this a multiple district project, and we held another pancake breakfast, and clubs donated and clubs joined in with this fundraiser, and we raised over $28,000. And it was a lifesaver for that family, and they've been so appreciative. and he's currently under remission, and we pray for him every day.
That's a tough one for me. I'm sorry. Any other questions that the board has, or any questions you have? Did we cover pretty well? So I can't think of anything else. After, if you want to scan what we have over here, take a look just for some of the past projects that we've done. I just touched on it. We do so many other things that are one-shot deals. It's too hard to put in a 1-hour program. So thank you very much.